Mr. Steven Zack, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for the invitation.
That was a long introduction in Hebrew because I was explaining the issue for my listeners. Thank you for being with us again. So just put us in the right direction. Now the American court says that he has to open the whole case.
That is correct. They say there are questions of fact to be decided by the trial judge whether the museum should have known that this was a stolen painting. And it is our strong opinion that the museum absolutely should have known that this museum was stolen and that they could have found the Cassirer family had they tried.
How?
How?
Yeah.
And on the back of the paint, first of all, this is a very well-known painting. It's a Pissaro painting of the street of Saint-Honoré in Paris. And it is a well-known painting, but on the back of the painting was the partial address of my client's gallery in Berlin. In other words, the Cassirer Gallery in Berlin was one of the most famous galleries in the world, owned by a Jewish person, the Cassirer family. Many books written, much history about the Cassirer family. And had they made any effort, they would have seen that there was a partial address that actually you can see Berlin on. More importantly, they paid very little money.
I will just stop you for a minute, just for translation. אומר לנו עורך הדין שמייצג את המשפחה היהודית שהמוזיאון, אותו מוזיאון טיסנבורן-מיסה במדריד, היה צריך לדעת מראש, כשהוא כאילו קנה את זה, שמדובר ברכוש גנוב. המוזיאון היה צריך לדעת את זה. גם היו יכולים, על פי דבריו, למצוא את המשפחה, את היורשים היהודים האמיתיים בצורה מאוד פשוטה. אני שואל כיצד. הוא אומר, קודם כל מדובר בפיסרו, שזה ציור מאוד מאוד מוכר, ודבר נוסף, מאחורי הציור יש חצי כתובת של הקליינטים, כי הייתה להם גלריה בברלין, ופשוט אפשר היה למצוא אותם על פי הכתובת הזה. Tell me again, we are talking also about the price, because the museum bought the Pissaro half of his price.
Very low price. First of all, the history goes back to the Nazis, and Lily Cassirer, who was the original owner, had to sell the painting for $360 to a Nazi in order to leave Germany. It was then sold a number of years later in the United States for $275,000. This painting is worth more than $40 million. If somebody tells you they're going to sell you something at that price, you know that there's a problem.
You know that he is lying.
Even more, you know he's lying. If somebody comes and sells you a Mercedes for $1,000, you know that there's something wrong with the car, right? That it's not their car. Also, it is a situation where they knew that the price was so far in excess of the amount that they were paying that it put them on notice that there was a problem with the painting. Finally, and maybe the most important point, and we're trying to establish this point not just for, I'm Jewish, but it's not just for Jewish people, it's for the world today, where things are stolen. You can see what goes on in ISIS, for example, all the time. And then they're stolen and they're sold. The principle, and it's a very important principle, that no one can ever get good title to a stolen piece of property. In other words, if someone steals a bicycle or a painting or a car, it's always stolen. The fact that I may pay $1,000 for a Mercedes doesn't mean that the person I bought it from had the right to sell it to me for $1,000. it was stolen, and they never have the right. Even if they sold it to me for $40 million, they had no right
to sell it
to the painting because it was stolen.
Yeah, just a minute please. הוא מסביר עורך הדין שמדובר במחיר מאוד נמוך שקנה אותו המוזיאון במדריד. לילי עצמה, בעלת הציור המקורית אז בגרמניה, מכרה את הציור $360 רק כדי לברוח מגרמניה הנאצית, ואחר כך בארצות הברית הוא נמכר תמורת $275,000, בשעה שהמחיר האמיתי של הציור כמעט $40 מיליון. ואומר עורך הדין, ובצדק, אם מישהו מוכר לך מרצדס $1,000, אתה מבין שמשהו לא בסדר עם המכונית הזאת. והוא אומר, זה גם לא עניין של יהודים בלבד, אלא עניין מוסרי לגמרי. כל מי שגונב אופניים, מכונית או ציור, זה תמיד יישאר גנוב, לא משנה כמה שילמו עליו. Let me ask you please, do you think that we see it from years already, do you think that the courts in Europe are, how should I say, more open to stolen arts?
Well, I think that the courts all over the world are now giving more credence to the fact that something is stolen and they do not accept it. In the United States, that's the case, but also in Europe. The courts see not only a legal obligation, but a moral obligation. There's one point in this case that nobody can dispute, neither the other side or anyone else, and that is this painting was stolen, period. Once, and think about this, if your neighbor had his car stolen and you ended up buying it for some ridiculous price or whatever you paid for it, and you found out that it was your neighbor's car and it was stolen, you have both a legal and a moral obligation to return it. Mm-hmm. And I believe the courts are heading in that direction.
אני שואל את עורך הדין, האם יש תחושה שבתי המשפט באירופה הם יותר קלים עם אותה סוג של גניבה אומנותית, בעיקר של יהודים בזמן השואה? הוא אומר שיש יותר ויותר מגמה בכל בתי המשפט בעולם, גם בארצות הברית, אבל גם עכשיו יותר באירופה, על כך שזה לא רק עניין חוקי, אלא גם עניין מוסרי. אף אחד מהצדדים לא חולק על כך שהציור הזה הוא נגנב. Let us please finish by asking you, can you tell us something about the family?
Family is a wonderful family who have spent 80 years fighting this fight. And they have fortunately not given up. Most people would have given up a long time ago. They are living in the United States. They believe that at the end of the day, we will win, and they will own what is rightfully theirs.
Okay, let us hope so. Mr. Steven Zack, thank you so much for being with us.
It's my pleasure. I hope to give you continued good news.
I hope so too. Thank you so much. Shalom.